What's up? I got asked a good question. If John Wetland doesn't lead the New York Yankees, does Mariano Rivera become the dominant Yankees pitcher, ends up, and as a Hall of Famer, et cetera, in their dominance? Well, they both were contributors in '96. It is hard to believe. When we're talking 30 years ago. If you're a Yankees fan, this was the turning point because this is when everything started to go the Yankees' way. They started to win rings. They started to be a dominant team. That it was amazing how um, they were able to just turn it on. Be successful, and everything was just kind of like it was amazing. When you think about it in hindsight, and they were able to win. But Wetland went to Texas. He did become Texas all-time saves leader at the time, et cetera, et cetera, and he got acknowledgement. But this was it springboard Mariano Rivera into a prominence where he just was he was the closer and he had that one pitch and he was so dominant. If Wetland doesn't go, does Mariano Rivera become as dominant? That's a great question because they were a strong 1-2 punch. And you got to kind of wonder in hindsight how that might have played out if he sticks around. Um, it does kind of make you kind of scratch your head. You do kind of wonder. I hadn't even thought about it until someone had asked me about it because as a Yankees fan, you kind of take it for granted how the pieces kind of fell into place. But mm, Wetland was kind of like, I don't know if I was going to, if I had to use a TV show. You ever seen a TV show where there was character that you was part of it, but you forgot all about it, and then the show just got better and you forgot all about it? Wetland was kind of like that character on Happy Days that he was there with Richie and Joni and the parents, everybody, but then he left and you forgot he was there because the cast got stronger and it just grew from there. And it was kind of like the Fonz wearing the brown jacket before he could wear the leather jacket. And it went to a whole different landscape because Rivera became iconic and he's the ultimate closer. So if John Wetland doesn't leave the New York Yankees, is Mariano Rivera the ultimate closer? And that's a good question because I don't know because they were a 1-2 punch. But then, of course, if you're dominant, you become the man. So that's a good question. And it's kind of hard to really, have the answer for that because so many things have to come into place. So many things have to come into view, you know. I think he would still be good, but I don't know if gets to that dominance if that's the case. So it's a good question, though. Definitely a good question, and it's one that I hadn't really been thought of a lot of. But Rivera was so powerful with his pitch, up until that whole thing with David Ortiz in Boston. Well, you could say the series against the Diamondbacks with Luis Gonzalez broken bat, but I didn't even really hold that against Rivera. That was just almost fluky how they lost that series because up in that time he was perfection, and then you can tell by him getting into the Hall of Fame he was held in such a high regard. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section though. If John Wetland doesn't leave the Yankees, is Mariano Rivera considered the GOAT relief pitcher? Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.